How many different hazard classes are there? Well, there are 9. Easy. What placard must be used with an inhalation hazard? Inhalation. Go figure. A truck carrying explosives has crashed into another vehicle. You should not pull them apart until the answer is the explosives have been placed at least 200 feet away from the vehicle and occupied buildings. The shippers package hazardous materials. They must certify that this was done according to regulations. The only exception is when the shipper is a private carrier carrying his or her own product. Which signals may be used to warn of a stopped vehicle that contains explosives? So that's going to be reflective triangles. Class 8 placarded as any corrosive 1,001 pounds. Class 8 is corrosives. The transport index of a radioactive material tells the degree of control needed during transportation. A properly prepared uniform hazardous waste manifest must be signed and carried by anyone transporting hazardous waste. An A or W, the first column of the hazardous material table, means the material is only restricted when shipped by air or water. When is it necessary to ground the trailer? When filling or unloading any flammable liquid tank liquid tank ground must be maintained until filling hole is properly closed. The total transport index of all radioactive materials packages in a single vehicle must not exceed 50. Which of the following must drivers have in their possession while transporting class 1.1 or 1.3 explosives? It's not both. A lot of people think it's both, but the only thing you need is the written route plan. On a public roadway with a placard tanker hauling flammable liquids, when can you transfer from one tanker to another? In an emergency. If in a materials class, the word forbidden, what kinds of material are you still allowed to haul? The answer is you cannot haul forbidden cargo, which is kind of like nothing, but the answer is you cannot haul forbidden cargo. What is the shape and size of a placard? 10 3/4 square diamond. When hauling packages or explosives, you must never use hooks or metal tools. Which of the following, if required, must the shipper put on a package? The name and address, the hazardous material, the required label. All the answers. Whenever your vehicle is placarded, do not drive near open fires unless you can safely pass fires without stopping. A hazard class name or ID number may not be used to describe a non-hazardous material. Column 1 or the 1 means international transportation. What action should you take if you discover your hazardous material shipment is leaking at a rest stop and there's no phone available? You send someone for help with all the necessary information. In what location must you keep your shipping papers that describe any hazardous material? On the driver's seat whenever you are out of the vehicle. You must never smoke or perform any activity involving fire within 25 feet of classes 1, 2, 3, or 4. What is the purpose of a driver placarding their vehicle? To communicate risk. If you are already carrying 100 pounds of silver cyanide, what precautions must you take if you are given papers at a dock to carry 100 cartons of battery acid? Inform someone and do not take the battery acid. The other two places where the hazardous material identification numbers must appear: on all bulk packaging and the cargo tanks. When there is hazardous materials emergency, what should you do? Prevent people from smoking, keep people away. Do both of the above. Whose signature must be on a hazardous waste manifest? The shippers, all carriers, and the receiver. To obtain a hazardous materials endorsement, you must know how to placard your vehicle. A shipping paper for hazardous material must include a proper shipping description for each hazardous material, a shipper's certification, and stating that they prepared the shipment according to regulation, and the page numbers. So both of the above. 100%. Congratulations. Easy peasy. So that's test one. I'm going to break this up into 4 parts. And so let's get right on to number 2.